welcome back to Uncle Stevie's DIY Garage. And in my last video that I made, I was I was telling you about how the wire pulled out of the strain on my Ridgid oscillating tool. And, I gave it some thought, and I haven't really used it, probably in a few weeks. So what I'm going to do today is I want to repair this to stop this from happening, okay? And what my plan is, I went out to local Home Depot or Lowe's, I can't remember, and I bought an assortment of heat shrink tubing. It comes in all different sizes. And then I also bought, I believe it's 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. It shrinks when you heat it. So my plan is to put the heat shrink tubing over the cord where it's pulled out and up to its wire strain. So in order for me to do that, what I had to do, I had to cut the end off. What could I do, right? Oh boy. So my problem was, by looking at the old plug, was, oh my God, where does the wires go? Because it could have been all twisted up in there. So I wound up dissecting it. Look, came apart. Ugh. That's what I did. So what I found out after doing this was one wire went to the thinner terminal. The other wire went to the thicker terminal. Okay? So then what I did was I went out to the old Home Depot and I bought a plug. So there's a difference. Okay? So if you're looking at this, if you're comparing the two, okay, you'll see one has 2 prongs and one has 3 prongs. So just looking at this, and I see they have 3 different color terminals. And if you know anything about electricity, the hot wire always goes to the brass terminal, and the neutral wire always goes to the silver terminal. So now that I figured that out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some heat shrink tubing, and I think I bought this for less than 20 bucks, and I think this was like around 3 bucks. So we're going to get into it, and we're going to see how this tool works out. So a couple of things, I have these little side cutters here. Of course, I got a little stubby Phillips head screwdriver for when I put the new plug on the end. And of course, you're going to need a utility knife. Also, you're going to need a little torch or a source of heat. I mean, you probably could use a heat gun on this, but it's up to you. And then also, we're going to use 91% isopropyl alcohol. And you could pick this up anywhere, ShopRite, your local grocery store, pharmacy. It's fairly inexpensive. And I'm going to use this to clean the cord before I put the heat shrink tubing on it. So let's get into that first. And you're also going to need a little piece of paper towel. Okay? So what I like to do is, you don't want to have any kind of dust in between your heat shrink tubing here. So I'm just going to wipe this off kind of good here. Just like so. Alright? Might as well wipe the whole cord off while I got it here. Okay? So I'm going to get this out of the way, because I will be using a torch. Ooh, scary fire. Okay? And I'm going to go into this cool assortment here of heat shrink tubing, because that's what we need. And then I need to find a piece of heat shrink tubing to go over this extension cord. So as you can see, there's so many different sizes. So I think I'm going to say, no, that's not it. All right, let's go with this one. I believe this one is 3/8. So I'm going to take this tubing, heat shrink tubing, and I'm going to slide it over the cord. Okay. And normally when you buy this heat shrink tubing, if it's a quality heat shrink tubing, whatever size that it's listed on the box, it usually will shrink down to half its size, okay? So if you're using a 1/4 inch piece, it's going to shrink down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to just take this and we're going to work it up the cord. Ready? Come on. All right. So you can see it doesn't quite make it over the cord string, but that's okay because I do have a thicker diameter. So my whole goal right now is to get that as close as possible. Okay, and I think we're pretty good right there. So then I have this little torch. All right, and we're just going to throw some heat on it. Let's see. I'm just going to warm it up and watch it shrink. I'm trying to get this on video here. There it goes. You just want to keep that heat moving, okay? Just like that. Alright, I'm going to do a close-up for you once this is all done. Alright, I'll show you how much it shrank down. Because I really need this tool for tomorrow. I got to cut a bunch of sheetrock out in that house that I'm working on. Alright? So, alright, we got that pretty warm. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. Alright? So that's off. Alright, and you can see right there toward the end how much it shrank down. Okay? And that's what I'm looking for. So now I am going to take a piece of this 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. So 1/2 inch, once you heat it, it'll shrink down to 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of this, crack this thing open, and then I am going to put this over my cord, like so. You know, and I did have a couple of different ideas, like tossing around my head, saying, you know, maybe I should like put a piece of, I don't know, like fuel hose or, you know, something like that. But then, you know, after kind of like thinking about it and going to the store, you know, I figured this was my best option. So we're going to see. But either way, it's probably around 8:30 tonight. But I'll get this figured out. All right, so what I'm going to do, get this out of my way here. Don't wait to clutter. Okay. So I got this slid up pretty far. All right. So this was my heat shrink tubing that I just put on. And then I slid this up and onto the cord string. And I'm going to get this thing heated up and well, we're going to see how it does. All right, so let's get started. Let's do this. Ain't nothing scary here. Gotta warm it up evenly. There it goes. Shrinking really good. And the thing is, if you stay too long on this stuff with the heat, it will start to melt. So you gotta really watch what you're doing here, okay? It's not that hard, trust me. Anybody can do it. Alright, so I'm starting to see the dimples. Just keep working that heat around. Okay? Just like so. Okay? This stuff works pretty good. I think I'm really satisfied with this. Okay, just heat the end up, keep the heat moving. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so let it cool down for a second because you know what, it's going to be pretty warm. Okay? Alright. So there you go. think that's going to work out pretty good. Let's see. What do you folks think? I think it's going to help. And you can even see like how the dimples that were supposed to hold the wire from pulling out actually melted in there. So I think we're on to something. Let's see. Okay. All right, so now we are going to move on to the plug end. It's kind of sketchy. Just kidding. All right, so if you guys look on the back of this thing, anytime you have a plug or receptacle, it'll actually give you a diagram of how much wire to strip off. So I got it pretty close. I'm guessing, they say to strip off about that much from both wires. So that's kind of what I did. So whenever you take a wire and put it on a terminal, and this is kind of important, whatever way you tighten this screw is the way that you want to put the wire on this. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So let's get this thing in here. Okay. And see if we can bend it around. Like so. And not have it touch the other wire, because then you'll have a direct short. Okay. We're going to just tighten up that terminal. Okay, just like so. All right. That was that one. Okay, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to wrap it around the other side in a clockwise direction. And then we're going to tighten this screw. Okay, just like so. Give it a little snug. You don't have to over tighten it. You don't have to put the Hercules strength to it. Okay. So now, I'm going to try to close this thing up. Alright, so this is not working right now. So, let me loosen up the white wire. And these things happen. You just got to be patient. Okay? Because if you can see, this cord, basically once you screw this down, this is your wire string for that particular side. So, let me think about this. Alright. So let's take this end and wrap it around again on this negative terminal or neutral side. White is the neutral. Okay. And then we're going to tighten this thing up. And listen, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but the thing is, I don't usually have a lot of time to mess with this stuff. Sometimes it's just easier to throw the tool away, right? Okay, let's see. Nope, it does not want to go for some reason. Okay. All right, I think I have to relocate the black wire, the hot wire. Let's try that. Just takes a little time. Just be a little patient. And you'll get it. You'll get it. Okay. Let's see. These wires are going to sit inside here like this. So what I think I might do is trim a little more of this insulation off this wire. Okay. I think that would probably be my best bet. Alright, so what I'm thinking, alright, you got your hot side and your neutral side. I'm thinking I might take another 1/2 inch off the insulation of this wire. So to do that, I'm going to use my utility knife. And just be careful when you're cutting through the outer sheathing that you don't cut the two wires, because then you're going to have an issue. So just very, very light pressure. All right, and what I like to do is I just like to roll it roll it around, just like so, okay? Oh, there's a little piece holding it, just like so. Always put your knife away. And then just pull it off, there it goes, look. And then you'll see on some of these tools you'll have, it looks like string. So that's actually part of the cord and the wire string. So that's why I have these little side cutters. And then we're just going to take that, boom, cut that. And then we're going to check it out again, see if we have enough. And I think we're okay. Okay, because if you look here, that's where when you close this, all right, that there's a screw there and it goes into that. So there we go. Let's try this. That's our wire strain. Okay, let's see, wire strain repair, right? Okay, so we got the brass wire or the brass terminal. That's going to go to the hot, and we're going to just loop that thing around like so. Take your little screwdriver, just get it snug like that. We're going to come back and snug that in a second. And then I'm going to go to the neutral side of the plug, okay, or the silver side, and we're just going to give that a quick little wrap like that. All right, just wrap it around. I'm going to snug this up, nice and easy. And like I said, you don't have to get insane. Okay, you don't have to use an impact gun on it. Oh man, I've known people like that. It tighten it to all get out. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, all right, you can see that the hot wire is to the brass side, the neutral wire is to the silver side. And because this particular tool had only 2 wires, we're not going to use the ground, okay? All right, so we're going to put that in there like that. We're going to separate the wires, just like so. All right, we're going to close the lid, just like that. Give it a little slack. I need a little slack in there. Okay, there it is. I heard a snap, so I think we're okay. Then I'm going to find a little tiny screw. Hope we don't drop it. Ooh. All right, let's tighten it up. Oh boy, the suspense is killing me. But you know what? When you're working for yourself, or you know, you have your tools, you want to try to maintain them the best you can. Okay, so wow, that was almost like a 2-beer job right there. Okay, so let me plug this thing in, and we'll see if it works. So stand by. Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to need this tool tomorrow. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Look at that, works like a champ. And guess what? Man, we have our tool back in order. This is so awesome. Okay. Man, this is great. Love it. All right, let's disconnect it. So anyway, that's basically how I repaired my pulled out wire for my wire strain. And I think I got a couple of more tools I could really use this method on, okay? So, yeah, thanks a lot for stopping by Uncle Stevie's DIY Guy Garage, and we'll check you later, okay? Take care.